now come to order. Have a roll call. Mr. Hirsch. Present. Mr. Landwehr. Here. Mr. Olson. Mr. Vonick. Here. Mr. Cody. Here. Mr. Burnett. All please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The agenda was posted throughout the district according to school board policy, published as a legal ad in the Superior Telegram, posted on the district webpage, and sent to the WNXR radio station for announcement. A meeting notice was sent to the connection for publication. First is the approval. Item 3 is the approval of the September 11th, 2023. Entertain a motion. Motion is there a second?
I'll second.
Not here. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we do have some student representatives that will be joining us.
I'm not here so far.
Well, I compliment everybody that might be students. But when they come, we will do. So we have the consent agenda, which includes the August 14th, 2023 regular board meeting minutes, open and executive sessions. And then we have the treasurer's report.
A summary of the treasurer's report as of August 31, 2023, general fund. General account on August 31, 2023, there was a balance of $3,981,264.97 in cash and investments. Receipts since the 1st of September and not included in the August 31 balance are $150,878.24. And the disbursements from tonight's September 11th board meeting total $88,276.65. The flexible spending account on August 31st, 2023, there was a balance of $23,216.18 in cash and investments. The health reimbursement account on August 31, 2023, there was a balance of $9,393.87 in cash and investments. Debt service fund on August 31st, 2023, there was a balance of $673.56 in cash and investments. And a more detailed report on fund activity is included for your review in the financial statements.
And we had the payment of invoices, which board members who have other committees will be able to talk about. Spencer Connor, any questions? And we have resignation, employment, leave of absence.
Yeah, we had one resignation, Claire Sheridan, part-time special education paraeducator. And then we have some recommendations for employment. Sarah Dahl, special education teacher at Iron River Elementary School. Trevor Paulus, 0.3 FTE physical education teacher at Iron River. Mandy Lehman, Mandy has been hired as a part-time special education paraeducator at NES. Ashley Simar, Ashley has been hired as a part-time special education paraeducator at NES as well. And Allison Holska, Allison has been hired as a teacher helper at the Tiger Stand. Next page, we got Amy Fleming. Amy has been hired as the Title I reading paraeducator at NES. Judith Cheney, part-time special education paraeducator and lunchroom supervisor at NES. And Brad Bodden, part-time lunch courier. And that's what we have for looking for approvals for there. Oh, and then we have a leave of absence as well. As you can see, Keely Paul is asking for a leave of absence from January 2024 through the remainder of the 2023-24 school year. I did send everybody an email today. Adam had a question, and I just kind of clarified that with you if anybody has any more questions on that. So, but we're looking to, we're recommending approval for all these.
Okay, are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion then for approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion?
Ms. Olson,
I'll second.
second, Ms. Manette. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, approval items.
Okay, we have, oh,
Yeah, excuse me, that'd be number 4, right?
yep, number 4.
All
Oh,
right.
that's all right. We have 2 requests for inter-district transfers. One, we had received correspondence from Heidi Sandberg requesting her son to be able to attend Northwestern Elementary School rather than the Iron River Elementary School. And we had received another correspondence from Lacey McNaughton requesting that her daughter attend Northwestern Elementary for the reasons contained in the enclosed correspondence. So we are looking for, our recommendation is to approve both of those transfer requests.
So at this point, we will have questions. Are they both here? Heidi, Sandberg is the first one. So I did read in your letter that there's some activities that worked, that they didn't do it in our district, or they're not available in our district.
Right.
Is that one of the questions I have? Yeah, great. Is there any other questions of Ms. Sandberg? And is there, so it's a logistical convenience more or less?
Yeah, that and Midwest have changed around this restricted date.
Should we handle these separately or do we go together? Yeah.
I would think you could do it together.
Okay, Mr. Collins. Did you have a question?
I guess I have a question
Okay.
for both parties. Can you speak to the travel arrangements and what kind of logistics that's gonna work out?
Yeah, much better, because my daughter goes to high school here.
Oh.
So going one direction versus, and it's like the times change for start and end day, so it's made it really challenging to go to school.
I'm Lacey. I have worked in leading a bus at a bus stop for 5 minutes from my house.
Okay. So that's not gonna be a huge obstacle for you, so that's good to know.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Mr. Landry?
Well, I talked to Mr. Moore this morning, and Lacey, this says the board agenda says inter-district transfer, and your letter says open enrollment. So is it open enrollment into the district asking to go to NES, or?
They've already been approved for open enrollment, so they would have to, the history is that open enrollment students through South Shore or Drummond or anything that are on the other side of Brule River that would normally go to Iron River would go to Iron River. So that would, they were already placed at Iron River. Now they want an interdistrict to move to NES.
And I believe your children previously went to NES. She did go ahead. Good point.
Good question.
Great question.
That's all I got.
Any other questions? Okay, well, there's a motion,
We are looking at, we can do both in one motion.
okay.
Did it say what grade? What did they say your daughter?
She's in third.
The other one.
The other one was, yeah, the other one had reflected.
Okay, I entertain a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve both transfers.
Okay, we have a motion to approve both of these transfers.
I will second that.
We have a second. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Okay. Next item. Four.
Let it be.
To early, Mr. Larrabee, two requests for early entrance to kindergarten.
So, we did have two families that entertained, I met with each of them individually, and then I brought their students in, I met with our 4K teacher, in our process, which, you guys could come, in August, for the entrance and looking through. We bring them in, we meet with families, we see the kids interact with other kids, we get to see them interact with the teacher. At the time when, following, I met with each family individually, and both withdraw their interest. So we have zero interest.
Oh, so there's zero, this is correct, okay,
Is that,
yeah, that's fine.
so the board says early entrance into kindergarten, and your letter says early entrance into 4K.
Yep, so in that handbook, we have a process that's the same for both kindergarten and 4K. Both requests were for 4K.
So the agenda should have reflected 4K.
Sorry,
Am I correct?
I'm probably here on my side. Yep, both families came in, that with myself and some more. There was a informal assessment for each student. Being the 4K kids, there's not a whole lot of academic screener, it's more how do they interact, how do they prepare for the entrance. So we have both families in a nice conversation following. And understood the needs they want to see both sides. Ultimately, they were able to understand that. Waiting another year would have benefited their students.
Well, thank you, I think that's excellent communication, and
Yeah, I think.
parents don't really know what's,
Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, and as a parent, if somebody that's a younger student, when you get to that age level, you compare them with, and it's a big concept to start thinking about development, it's a level that also like high school, age is an event. A lot of pieces to it, and obviously, it's the future. Mrs. Walsh and Mrs. Lind actually developed the process. So I've been able to pick up their work. It works out pretty well.
Yeah, I would echo that. I really appreciate those conversations, because I think they're probably very helpful.
I always go back to parents is, I don't know your child in 100 years, you don't know your child. We don't involve them in the process, and if it doesn't have good conversation, and give the family a chance to understand where we're coming from, we can lose some kids, but I think everybody felt valued in the process. Mrs. Moore is leading the district, she did a fantastic job. Thanks for watching. Great job. So it was a good process, and I think our families felt valued.
so there's no action necessary on that, thank you very much.
But with the board members, that's fine.
Mr. Brown, before we go on, we do have one of our student reps here.
Yes, I'm, pleasure to introduce student rep, Austin Burkhart. He's keeping us warm for sure.
We had a cross-country practice, and then Maria muted the other person.
They're active. So, item C, the 2023-24 district emergency management book.
Yep, this is the last of the handbooks for approval. The handbook was reviewed for accuracy after the schools submitted their plans last month. There are no changes in content, just names have been updated where needed. We're looking at recommendation is to approve this.
Are there any questions regarding the district emergency? Okay, if not, entertain a motion to approve. So, approve, Mr. Kelly.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve item C, the district emergency management handbook. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item District Policy Community Service Fund 80.
Yep.
Mr. Morris.
Yep, this is the second reading and approval for the Community Service Fund 80. I'll turn it over to Cody. And fill in again on this.
Yeah, we've talked about establishing Fund 80. We will look to establish that officially at our annual meeting here 2 weeks from today. But Fund 80 will allow us to basically, the intent of it right now is to fund our middle school extracurricular activities. Athletics and co-curricular alike. Going through budget cuts, this is a funding source that we haven't used in the past, but none of the districts do use Fund 80 to offset that. The important point for the board to know is that these programs are open to any students, regardless if they attend Northwestern or not, as long as they live within our district bounds. So our homeschool population has been able to, will continue to be able to participate in our extracurriculars if they wish. There will be a policy on the books, since it's step one, so we'll have a policy, and then we'll look to officially establish Fund 80 during our annual meeting.
I have a question. The resolution here, should I read that or is that going to be read at the annual meeting?
No, that'll be at the end.
Okay.
Any questions on Fund 80? As we establish Fund 80, it's important for the board to know that if we were able to not establish it, we'd have to look at making cuts at that particular level. So it's the Community Service Fund allows us to make ends meet a little bit easier from the district standpoint.
I think that we'll read this in because we're going to have take action on this and roll call. Be it further resolved that an estimated total of $36,900 be levied against the 2023 equalized value for the purpose of funding extracurricular activities at Northwestern Middle School in the Community Service Fund 80. And that will be something that we handled at the annual meeting, which is in 2 weeks.
And our recommendation is to approve that.
So we'll approve it now, so, okay.
Approve the policy at this moment.
Approve the policy, exactly. Okay, I need a motion then. One way or the other.
I'll make a motion to approve the Fund 80 policy.
Okay, Mr. Ronick, need a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Give me a second, Mr. Ryan, we will take a roll call vote, I assume.
Not necessary for the policy.
Okay, not necessary for policy, okay, then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, item E. We will have Mr. Moran deal with that to start with.
Yeah, the resolution resolution authorizes the insurance and establishing parameters for the temporary borrowing in an amount not to exceed $3 million pursuant to the section 67.128A1 of the Wisconsin statutes. This item is to allow Mr. Fitchcotter to accept the bids for our annual short-term cash flow borrowing so that we do not have to have a special meeting in October. Short-term borrowing is something that has occurred in our district for years. Our monthly costs are fairly consistent, but revenues do not come in on a monthly basis. Therefore, the short-term borrowing smooths out those peaks and valleys. So we're looking for a recommendation to approve this. All right, I'll pass on, Cody will finish on the rest of it.
Yeah, so it's a process that we do annually, every year. As Mr. Moore talked about, the reality is our monthly costs are pretty, for the most part, pretty stable from month to month, but our revenues are not. So short-term borrowing allows us to fill those lean months and obviously continue to pay bills, make payroll. In terms of that, we are looking at all options in terms of short-term borrowing. We've done it typically off of basically a one-year note that did it this year, or last year at this time. We'll look to pay that one note off October. And then I do want to give recognition to Wendy Stotty. We do put that money into a statement account that allows us to collect as much interest as possible on that money when it's not being used. And she does an excellent job of moving money around to maximize those returns. So I will work with Ellers is the company that we use to walk us through this process. They put up to bid. They will also look at potentially us doing line of credits. So I hope to come to the board in October here with option A, B, and C if at all possible, and then make a recommendation on what we feel like is the best to allow us to cover our low spots in revenue, but also minimize the amount of interest that we pay in order to do that. As we all are aware, interest rates are higher than probably what any of us really like, so it does cost money to borrow money. We want to try to minimize that as much as possible.
The only way to really avoid this is to have a lot higher fund balance, which
In a perfect world, yes. If you ask me what I would love, I'd love to be able to apply where our fund balance is to a point where we don't have to do this.
Cody, I didn't have a chance to talk to you. How did you come up with that not to exceed?
So $3 million, where's that number come from? Basically, we do a cash flow analysis as to, where are our peaks and where are our valleys that covers any potential catastrophic area. So that's where that number comes from. Typically in the past, it's been about 2.5 to 2.7. As low as 2.3, depending on the year.
So it's just slightly higher than historical averages, basically.
It wouldn't exceed that. We want to give ourselves we kind of want to cast a wider net so that way we don't get to a point where, we have to come back and do it again for $100,000 or whatever it might be. So it's never been $3 million to my knowledge, but we asked for up to $3 million event that we needed. I think last year was right about 2.8 million. The year before that was about 2.4. Really just depends on some of the cash flow analysis that we do.
Do you have any ideas to what interest rates may or may not come in?
I anticipate they're going to be similar to last year. At least I hope. But if you're asking me honestly, what I anticipate they're going to be higher because interest rates are up across the board. So we get that 5-ish% range, I anticipate.
any other questions?
This just gives me basically the permission to start this process so we can come back in October and say, here's hopefully options A, B, and C. There have been years, so we've only had one option. Right? So my goal is to try to bring a couple of different options to the board and say, here's the pros and the cons for each scenario and situation.
Okay, so entertain a motion. Go
The other
ahead.
thing, you talked about interest rates. You do make the point here that you take that cash and put it in some sort of a fund so you are generating some return on it as well.
We put it to work. So it's the LGIP account, the local investment government pool. A lot of school districts, municipalities across the state of Wisconsin use it. It's very safe. It does provide almost a daily rate of return. And again, I give Wendy credit to, she does an excellent job of making sure we maximize those returns throughout the time that we have that money. Offset those interest costs is really what it boils down to. We try to make it as cost neutral as possible. So that's it.
And it's accessible in that fund.
Yes. Yeah. That's why we put it there, so we can move money, I believe, about 24-hour notice, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah.
You said that you were exploring a line of credit.
It's a possibility that we're working with Elders on to see if we can find a banking partner that may do that. The advantage to a line of credit is less cost and interest, but we have to weigh that against possibly what we get in rate of return on our accounts that we put that money into as well. So our goal is to say, here's option A, option B, option C. Again, I keep some like a broken record on that, but we want to look at all possibilities to see what's best for the district. We have done that in the past, I believe, but it's been a long time from what I was told.
Well, unless it's different with the private sector, you take a line of credit, you have it sitting there, you can use it at your leisure. So instead of taking $2.5 million for the school, paying interest on $2.5 million, just take 100 at a time.
That's hence, yeah, what we're trying to, because interest rates are up. I think 2 years ago, interest rates were next to nothing.
Right.
It's a pretty easy situation. Like, yeah, let's do it this way. With interest rates being higher, line of credit might make more sense from the aspect of we're paying less in interest in terms of that. That's part of what we have to weigh. And that's the work that I'll be doing along with our partners at Elders over the next month here. And we'll bring it back to that meeting to make a decision.
And this action would allow you
Essentially, yeah, this just gives me the board's permission to do this, and I'm sure answer we need to do this because we did, we got rough out of those 3 months.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve?
I would say.
Second. We need a roll call on this. I think we do need a roll call on this.
This one, yes. Up to.
Up to, okay. Mrs. Brunette? Mr. Cody?
Yes.
Mr. McConaughey?
Yes.
Mr. Olson? Mr. Lambert? Mr. Hirsch?
Yes.
Mr. Grant? It's approved. Okay, item 5, administrative report, Mr. Moore.
Oh, communications received, thank you acknowledgements for the memorials, sent by Mike Denny, former paraeducator and substitute teacher, and Jerry Danielson, former bus driver. We received notification, want me to read that? Oh, I'll just read it. We received notification that the district received, the 2023-24 peer review and mentoring grant, written by Ms. Craig and Dr. Coney in the amount of $22,837. And correspondence from WSB that Sherry Olson will be given a level 1 award in her efforts in leadership and board development. Congratulations, Mrs. Olson. That's outstanding. And that will be awarded at the fall region 1 meeting. Am I missing something? Go ahead, yes.
That grant,
Yes.
and I don't know if you had looked at it anymore, I had said, it says, grant funds will be reimbursed contingent upon receipt of a completed program fiscal report. So my question was to you this morning, and I just looking for confirmation, who's responsible to make sure that
It's done and gets
gets
reported.
done so we can get reimbursed?
That would be, Ms. Craig and I would work on it, but I would have the one that has to press the button and send in the DPI to approve it, so. Oh, Jenny Keller is also in?
You report to her.
Okay, so I would report
She's
to
the grants
Jenny.
coordinator.
To Jane Grants. But literally it comes from my office, so.
Yeah, I just, like I said, it says that we got it, but it's reimbursement of after the certain things. So,
Gotcha.
ain't after. That's all I had.
Okay, no. That's all I had for me.
Okay, B, budget hearing / annual meeting.
Yep, budget hearing annual meeting, is Monday, September 25th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Mr. Granlund and Mr. Landwehr and Ms. Olson have speaking parts. Please let me know if you are unable to attend. The meeting will be held here in the district boardroom, extension 2270. The agendas are included for board review.
And item C is fall region 1 meeting.
Yeah, that will be at the, held Wednesday, October 18th at the Hotel Schwan in Ashland.
You're gonna be there, aren't you?
I'll be there.
Is that where you get your reward?
I guess so.
Yep, I will be there too. So please let Peggy know if any of you are gonna attend.
And the maintenance report.
Maintenance report is there, we're off and running. It's everybody's aware, so buildings are full. So the crew has done an excellent job to this point, so we are in game mode now.
Okay, donations, Mr. Moore.
Oh, let's see, the first one, the class of 1955 donated $47 to the District Angel Fund. A check in the amount of $1,000 was received from, is it Synovus, excuse me, Energy Inc. from the American Online Giving Foundation, a partner foundation of the, is it Benefiting Giving Platform, on behalf of John Trilla, who used the platform to contribute to the district. He would like to designate $500 to go to the track program and $500 to go to the cross-country program. We also have a Stephen E. Getter. Donated $3,000 to the Northwestern football program And Bonnie Carlson donated a box of school supplies for Northwestern Middle School students. A big thank you to all those people for their generous donations to the programs of our district.
And as in the past, I'm sure they will receive a thank you
Yes, they will.
from the district, so that's awesome. Item F is a WASB correspondence and legislative update.
Right. Last week, Speaker Robin Voss announced the formation of 4 bipartisan task forces designed to tackle critical issues facing Wisconsinites. These task forces will be addressing artificial intelligence, childhood obesity, truancy, and K-12 education, and human trafficking. Due to their subject area, all 4 task forces could have some effect on Wisconsin schools. Speaker Voss's appointments include our Representative Angie Sapphic on the Artificial Intelligence Task Force and Representative Chance Green on the Truancy Task Force. Legislators recently proposed LRB 1394 that would allow school districts to start prior to September 1st. Under current law, public schools are prohibited from starting instruction prior to September 1st unless granted an exception from DPI due to extraordinary circumstances. Unlike previous proposals, which would have entirely repealed the statute requiring schools to commence no earlier than September 1st, this proposal would allow school districts to start school as early as the Monday prior to Labor Day. If the school district does decide to start prior to Labor Day, the Friday before Labor Day would be designated as a non-instructional day in order to accommodate travel plans taken over the holiday weekend. After full repeal, attempts at full repeal have been opposed by the tourism industry and been unsuccessful in the legislature in past sessions. And finally, the Department of Public Instruction recently announced that their strategic planning process is now open to public input. Since March of 23, DPI has been working on their strategic plan internally. Starting now, DPI is beginning the public portion of the process and will be accepting input from educators, students, and all community members with an interest in helping shape DPI's strategic vision. So if you're interested in weighing in, visit the DPI's website for more information.
You know the deadline for that.
I think it was I don't think it had a deadline.
It was-
Right, the DPI's, would have information.
CISA 12 report, Mr. Black.
Some of the CISA 12 highlights from last month's meeting was CISA 12 staff all moved into the new building, which they're happy about. They're utilizing one room in the old building for temporary storage. CISA 12 also had 8 of our districts on August 14th to work on building strong district leadership teams. 3 new staff were hired over the summer. Olivia Delco, youth apprenticeship coordinator, Tracy Lund, instructional coach, Rebecca Spence, mental health coordinator. CISA 12 received additional grant funding to support MLSS and educator effectiveness work for 23-24. Amanda Trott and Diamond Gully will be serving as coaches. Sarah Nelson and Amanda Trott will be serving as leaders for CISA-based coaches across the state. DPI provided additional funding for educator effectiveness and data supports in districts. Act 20 reading legislative was passed in the state legislature. CISA 12 reading specialists is working to provide information to all districts on the requirements of the bill as they become clear. And tomorrow we have a Zoom meeting for our
So Maya, that was 3 new hires that are in addition, right? It was no addition.
correct.
Okay, Northwestern High School.
Yep. Mr. Smith is out at the football field, so I won't add that. Northwestern High School and Northwestern High School athletics and activities are going strong right now. cross country, golf, football, volleyball. Things going really well. Youth football is very impressive to watch. Youth football kids out there every Saturday. I've seen them 3 Saturdays in a row, which is really good. But we'll probably be getting going with the Ellen Northwestern Elementary School in Iron River School and special education, as well as the there's nothing with the representative reports yet, or do we have a representative report?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I told you.
Okay, then I'm gonna give that.
We
to
did
you.
have reports from high school.
Oh, you got everything in there, okay.
Yeah, elementary school.
Any questions anybody has?
Special, yeah. We appreciate those. Read them. Okay, sorry.
Again, my name is Lawson Burkhardt, I'll be your student representative, so, I'll update you with Maria another time, but, yeah. I'll do my best to briefly update you on all the current and upcoming events, for extracurriculars and stuff, so. Football, we're off to a really strong start, we've got our varsity team, they're going undefeated so far, 4-0. Our most recent game was at St. Croix Falls, we won that 26-7. So I think our next game is this Friday, home game against Cameron. So volleyball, a bit of a struggle, 2-9 record, but lost a lot of seniors last year, so that's what it is. But the girls they're still fighting to represent our school well. Most recent match is against Clear Lake. We lost that 2-1. They're a very good team. So for us to get a set was pretty cool. Our next upcoming game is tomorrow at Rice Lake, followed by another match this Friday. Cross country, we've been doing really good. Both the boys and girls teams have gotten podium finishes. We've had multiple people place top 10, get more yards, actually win the Ashland meet, so that was really cool. Our next meet is tomorrow at Rice Lake. Yeah, I hope so. That was,
Don't cut yourself short.
First I'm all right myself.
You're doing awesome.
Girls golf, they're doing pretty good. Like I said, Maria's at bottom 3 Acres today in match against Superior. They will have another match next Monday, and I think it's against both Ashland and Hayward. And then that Wednesday the 20th, they also have a conference meeting. So let's talk about some co-curriculars. What was it, last Thursday, I think, we had the activity fair in the Commons. So we just have all the clubs and all the extracurriculars, just have booths, and everybody can sign up for stuff and really get to know all the stuff you can get involved in. Really great opportunity for freshmen to get introduced to some stuff, and also for seniors and juniors and sophomores to try new stuff. So, yeah, that was really fun. Clubs, a lot of them haven't really started yet. We have some that are just starting this week. Drama Club, they're having their first big rehearsal tomorrow, I think. FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, we meet this Friday. DECA starts soon. I'm not sure the exact date on that though, but I have heard that they will be starting soon. Let's see here. Band, we've been practicing a lot for the Apple Fest, which is the marching band thing we do in Bayfield. We're also getting ready for pep bands and all that stuff. Choir there too. They're not quite that crazy yet, but they're still both are getting acclimated to having freshmen and just new talents, I guess we'll say, in their thing. So yeah, this starts our 2023-2024 school year. Yeah, just getting deep into this school year.
Kids are busy.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's one of the strengths, I think, of the school is the participation and the activities that you be involved in.
Mr. Bailey, Mr. Carlson.
Mr. Carlson?
Yeah, I just want to add what Lawson said, just so you know, everywhere, we've got 30 different clubs for kids to be involved in. Everything from, the national clubs like FFA, FBLA, SCCLA, down to what we call our student initiated clubs, Amnesty International, SCA, Green Club, Games Club, Ping Pong Club, so just a lot of things for kids to be involved in. And like Leslie said, they meet periodically through the year. So, just something for all of our kids. We have advisors, staff advisors for all of them. Some of them are paid, some not paid, and it's just great for our kids to have all those options to be involved in things.
Great.
Mr. Granlund, how long has this been part of the board meeting with the students?
7 or 8 years probably.
This is the first time I've ever been involved in something like this. Outstanding. I mean, coming right from the students, you're so articulate too. That's outstanding. Thank you so much for that. This is great. This is really great.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, community student and staff recognition, Mr. Martin.
Yep, so Oscar Diaz, grade 11, has been appointed to the, as the student representative for Douglas County Board of Supervisors.
Oscar Dons.
Sorry, Don's. Sorry.
That's fine.
Did I say Dan? Yeah, sorry. I've been getting hammered with Diaz or something for lately, and it's just apologies. So Oscar Dons. So that's really great. I got 2 more things to add that's not on here. I'd like to let the board know that since the start of school, I've been around in the buildings and very impressed with the staff from all, and I'm talking about the ladies in the office, the teachers, the paraeducators. They have the interaction they have with the students, the respect they get from the students, the engagement they're getting from the students. I went through the high school this morning. I couldn't believe, I told Mr. Carlson, couldn't believe how engaged kids are. I know it's only the first couple weeks, but very impressive, so hats off to the staff because they're doing an awesome job. I just want to make sure the board knows that. So very impressed. And then I just want to let you know that our visit with Governor Evers, I thought was on Thursday was great. He'd never been to Maple before. There's never been a governor to come to Maple before. His interaction with the kids I thought was great. He was in the tech ed area, talking to a couple of boys that were in the plasma cutter. When he got done with that, they were in there for about 5 minutes talking, and when he was leaving, he said, "That young man has got it going. He knows exactly what he wants to do with his life, and this is awesome." Sitting and interacting with the kids at the lunch tables, and went into the cafeteria and thanked the lunch ladies for all their work. So it was a fun day. Met a bunch of the staff, so really thankful for him to come to visit and that. And so it was a good day for the school district.
Yeah, showcasing the school. Now that we have concluded the business of the board, we'll end the live stream. And then we will entertain comments from the audience.